Guys, welcome back again to the channel. Today we are going to make a 12 pieces blouse, 12 pieces top. By 12 pieces top, I mean that the front of the top is going to be 6 pieces in number and the back of the top will be 6 pieces as well. So altogether 12 pieces in number. So that is why it is called a 12 pieces top. So guys, if you're interested, continue watching and make sure you watch to the end so you won't miss out of any important information. This is the material I'll be using for the blouse. I'm going to cut directly on the fabric. I'm not going to use pattern paper, but instead of pattern paper, I'll be making use of this lining. I'll cut on the lining and then trace it on the fabric. The reason is for us to see it very well, and also it will save us some material. After cutting with this lining, I'll be tracing it with the fabric. And before we continue, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up so that others can see it as well and watch. Thank you so much. And if you are new, I'm Chisom Ene. Please subscribe to join the family and turn on the notification bell for more videos. Thank you so much. So with that being said, let's get started. So guys, like I said, I'll be cutting with this lining. I have cotton lining here and this is 3 yards. The length of my lining is by 45. So I'm going to start by measuring 28 inches and cut it out. This represents the length of the top and some allowances. So guys, this is what I'll be using to cut the front part, but I'm going to be cutting three pieces, and then I'll use the 3 pieces to cut another 3 pieces, making it 6 at the front, 6 at the back, altogether 12 pieces. That's how we are going to do it. This will help us to manage material. Do you understand? So this is what I'll be using to cut 3, and then we'll trace the second 3 to complete it 6. You understand? So like I said, the length of my lining, the length is by 45, and then I measured the length of the top to cut it out, like I explained before. So I'm going to start by marking out my vertical measurement. Vertical measurements are measurements you take from the shoulder downwards. Shoulder to the bust point, to the under bust, to the half length, to the length of the blouse. That is what we are going to do now. But before then, the top is going to have a zipper at the front. On that side, that front side, I'll be adding flare as well, the Airline Flake as well at the zipper side. So for my Airline Flare, on all of them, I'll be making use of 3.5 inches. 3.5 inches. It's not constant. If you like, you increase it or you reduce it. Do you get? So I'm going to mark 5 inches. 3.5 inches for Airline Flare and 1.5 inches for zipper allowance. I'm going to mark 1 inch here as my starting point line. 1 inch. This line represents my shoulder line. From this line, I'll take the vertical measurement. Do you get? So I'll be taking the vertical measurement now. From shoulder to the bust point, from shoulder to the under bust, 15 inches. Shoulder to the half length, 17 inches. So from here to here, it's just 2 inches. So I'm going to repeat it here to get a straight line. 11.5, 15 and 17. So guys, we have the shoulder line, the bust point line, under bust, half length, and here is the length of the top. The length of the top for me is going to be 26 inches, which is here. So having gotten the vertical line, the next step is to create my bustier. And for me to create my bustier, I'm going to mark my neckline measurement to serve as a guide. So from the shoulder line, I'll measure 6 inches and mark. This will help us create the bustier. 6 inches. Then I'll connect. So we now have the neckline, bust point, under bust and half length. These are the major vertical measurements we need for the top. So guys, the next step is to mark my bust span on all the lines. The bust span is the measurement from one bust to the other. So for this person, her bust span is 8 inches. 8 divided by 2 will give us 4 inches. Plus half inch sewing allowance, 4.5. So I'm going to measure the 4.5 inches on all these lines. So this is the bust span line. So having done that, I'll create my dart. Do you understand? So I'll come to the under bust on this side, that is towards this side. I'll measure 1 inch and mark for my dart. 1 inch, and to the half length 1 inch. Then I'll connect the 2 points. Can you see what I have? Then I'm going to measure 1 inch here at the neckline, 1 inch. Can you see what I have? And I'll extend this line, this 1 inch, to the shoulder line. So I hope you are following. Having done that, the next step is to make a curve here. This is where the bustier is going to be, on this space. So I'm going to connect from the bust point to this 1 inch here with a curve, and then connect from here to this neckline with a curve to form the breast curve. So guys, this is the curve for this side, and we are going to also make a curve at this other side to complete the bustier. I hope you are following, but we are not going to do it yet. Before we do that, I'm going to add my Airline Flake here and here. Then before we now create the bustier at this side. So if you are following this channel, you should know that this is not how we make our bustier. We do it this side and this side, and then when we sew it, it will form the curve. Do you understand? So we are going to create the bustier for this side. Just continue watching. So guys, the next step is to add my Airline Flake here, and to do that, I'm going to come here and measure my 3.5 inches for the Airline Flake. Like I said, it's going to be 3.5 inches all through, but because I have 1 inch dart here, I'm going to minus that 1 inch from the 3.5 inches. So instead of 3.5 inches, I'll be marking 2.5 inches. This is 2.5 inches, And on that point, I'll come up by 1 inch and mark. This is just to curve this part so that it will not be straight up. So I'll connect from here to here with a straight line, and that will be my Airline Flake. I hope this is simple. Have you given this video a thumbs up? If you have not done that already, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up before you forget. Thank you so much. So the next step is to curve this side. I'll place my ruler like this. You can do that with your free hand, and I'll curve. Can you see? This is what we have. Then the next step is to add my Airline Flake here. Like I said, my zipper allowance is going to have a flake, and I said it's optional. If you don't want, you leave it straight. So to add my Airline Flake, I'm going to measure 1 inch at this point and mark the same thing I did here, and I'll connect from here to here with a straight line, and that will be my Airline Flake on this side. So I'm going to curve this side as well. So guys, this is what we have. This is the Airline Flake at the down part. So the next step is for me to cut it out, and then we'll continue from there. I'll be cutting it out now. So guys, after cutting, this is what I have. The next thing I'll be doing now, please pay attention, is to transfer the bustier to this side. Do you understand? And transfer the Airline Flake to this other side. That's what I'll be doing now. And remember, at this point I removed only 1 inch for my dart. This side I'm going to remove 1.5 inches. Just watch how I'm going to achieve that. So the next step, what I'm going to do now is to flip this one. I'm going to flip this towards this side like this. It's as simple as that. So this is what I have. So after turning it to face like this, then I'm going to cut to get this shape to this other side. So I'll cut it out now. Can you see what I just did? So after cutting out this shape, what we have done now is to create the bustier to the side. Do you understand? So this 1 inch dart has been transferred here. So altogether what we have here should be 2 inches. So I'll return it back so you understand what I just did. You see what I did now? So here we have removed 2 inches dart with this thing I just did. We have removed 2 inches dart here and 2 inches dart here, up and down. Do you understand? So you see the bustier has been transferred to this side, while the Airline Flake has also been transferred to this side. I hope you understand. So guys, the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to increase the dart here. Like I said, this side I'll be using 1.5 inches for my dart. Do you understand? So I will increase the dart here by ½ inch. I hope you understand it now. I will increase it by ½ inch. This is for me to be able to get a bigger cup. A bigger cup, because the bust measurement I'm working with is 42. So I'm going to increase the dart by ½ inch. So altogether at this side I will have 2.5 inches for that. Do you understand? So at this upper part I will leave it like that, 2 inches. So if you have a smaller bust like 36, below 40, then just go ahead and leave it like this. It's okay. So guys, to increase the dart this side, I'll come here at the under bust and measure half inch, and to the half length, half inch. So I'll connect the 2 points like this. So I'm going to blend it to the curve. Do you understand? So I'm going to connect like this. Can you see how I connected it? This will help to increase the curve, to give me a bigger curve. So I haven't done that. I'm going to, the next step is to connect from that half inch back to the Airline Flake. Can you see what I did? So if you don't have a bigger bust, please don't do that, because you end up getting an oversized cup and you don't want that. So guys, what we have now will be 2.5 inches dart, and here 2 inches. I hope it's clear. So at this point, if you have any question, go ahead and leave it in the comment section. I will attend to it. So the next thing I'm going to do is to close the dart up. I'll close it up like this. Can you see? I'll close it up like this, and I'll take my bust circumference. The bust circumference I'm working with is 42 inches. 42 divided by 4 will give us 10.5. 10.5. This is 10.5. Then coming to the under bust, my under bust measurement, that's the round under bust measurement, is 35. Divided by 4 will give us 8.75, which is here. And I'm going to extend it to the half length like this. It's the same thing. So having done that, I'm going to measure what I have from here to here and divide it by 2. That is taking the midpoint of from here to here. Do you get? So I'll measure, and yeah, this, I have 9 inches here. 9 divided by 2 will give us 4.5. 4.5. Can you see? Then towards this side, I'll measure from here to here and divide it by 2. And I have 5.5. That is, divided by 2, the midpoint will be 2.75, which is here. So the same thing, 2.75. Can you see? So the next step is to connect the points down to the length. Can you see what I did? I'll connect it down to the length of the blouse and connect to this one like this. And from this point, I'll draw my line to the shoulder line. So guys, this is what I have now. So if you like, you leave the line like this if you like. But for me, I'm going to measure half inch on the bust point. I'll measure half inch towards this side, because I want here to, have a nice, a very slight curve. So from this point, I'll connect back to the under bust. This is optional. This is just to give it a nice, look. So I decided to curve this side, and yeah, this is what I have. So after getting this line, the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to add 1/2 inch for sewing allowance. So guys, this is my 1/2 inch for joining allowance. Very, very important. So having done that, the next step is to add my Airline Flake at this side. So I'm going to measure 3.5 inches, remember? And at that point, I'll come up by 1 inch and I'll make my curve. And having done that, I'll connect from this half length to this point with a straight line. Can you see what I have? So I'll cut it out now. So guys, we have 2 pieces now. 2 pieces now. So we are going to cut the 3rd pieces. So guys, after cutting this side, the next step is to flip this one to this side like this. And I'm going to draw out the Airline Flare like this. Do you understand? This is what I did. This is the one I just cut. So what I did was to just turn it. I just turn it like this. And I'm marking out the Airline Flare. I just mark out the Airline Flare. That's the only thing I'll be doing with this one. After marking it out, I'm going to turn it back like this. And this is the Airline Flare I just marked out now. This is the Airline Flare. So what I'll be doing is just to, after turning it back to the original position, I'll place it like this. I'll place this one like this. Make sure that the underbust, the half length, all these vertical measurements align together. Just make sure it's aligned together. So can you see what I did? I placed this one at this point, point of the Airline Flare. Can you see? I just place it like this. At that point, I place it like this. And what I'll be doing is to mark the shape I have. So after cutting, can you see what I have? So I'll remove this one. And then this is what we need. And then this is the flare here. Do you understand it now? So I'll place the center front like this. So I'm going to cover the dart, because what I'll be doing now is to take my measurements. So you see, I just close the dart. So the next thing I'll be doing is to take my measurements now. I hope it's clear. So guys, from this zipper allowance, I'll take my shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement I'm working with is 16 divided by 2 will give us 8. Then I mark. I'm going to add extra 1 inch, which will cover for all this joining allowance. So what I'm marking as my shoulder measurement is 9 inches. The neck width I'm working with is 4 inches, then I mark. Whatever neck width of your choice you add. So on this shoulder line, I'll come down by 1 inch to slope the shoulder and connect it to the neck width. So guys, I'll take my armhole depth 8.5. To get your armhole depth, measure your round armhole and divide by 2. So to draw my armhole curve, I'm going to come here and measure my bust circumference, which is 42 divided by 4 will give us 10.5. So for my curve, the front part, I'll take the midpoint of the armhole depth, which is 8.5 divided by 2 will give us 4.25. I'll go inward by ½ inch, and then I'll connect. So this is my front armhole. Come to the bust point. My bust measurement is 42 divided by 4, 10.5. This is what I have. So this is the bust point. Let me extend the line. And then this is the under bust line. And this is the half length. I hope you are seeing it. So at the under bust, my measurement there is 35. 35 divided by 4, 8.75, which is here. So I'll be adding 3 inches sewing allowance. Then I'll extend it to the half length. So I'll connect. So this is what I have. I'm going to extend this line with a dotted line so I can add my Airline Flake. So on this line, I'll measure 3.5 inches, which is my Airline Flare, and mark. I'll come up by 1 inch. And from here, I'll connect to the half length. From here, I'll connect with a straight line for the flare. And I'll make my curve as well. So guys, the next step is to add my shoulder allowance of ½ inch here to join the front and back shoulders. Please don't forget it, it's very important. I'll connect. ½ inch here. So I'll cut it out now. So this is what we have. The next thing I'll be doing is to mark my neckline. I've already measured my neck width, which is 4 inches. So the neck depth for me is going to be 6 inches. It's not constant. If you want to make it 7 or you go up, so feel free to do what you want. So I'll measure 6 inches. I have 6 inches here already. And I would like to make use of a round shape. Round shape. So I'm going to connect. So guys, this is my neckline. So you can add any neck shape of your choice here. It must not be a round neck. So this is it. I have my 3 pieces at the front. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and leave your question in the comment section if you have any. We are going to use these 3 to cut the other 3, making it 6. Like I said, it should be 6 at the front and 6 at the back. So I'll be using this to cut another 3 pieces. So these are the Airline Flake. Alright. So guys, we are going to cut the back part now. So guys, we are cutting the back part, and I've cut out the lining for that, just the same way I cut the front part. So I've already marked my starting point, 1 inch. Then the next thing I'll be doing is to measure 4 inches here. So from the shoulder line, I'll take my vertical measurement from shoulder to the bust point, 11.5, and the half length, 17 inches. I'll do that on this side to get a straight line, 11.5 and 17 inches. Then I'll connect. So we have the bust point line and then the half length. This is where the Airline Flare will start from, the half length. So having done that, I'm going to mark my bust span, which is 4.5. I hope you remember, the bust span we are working with is 4.5. The next step is to add my Airline Flare, 3.5. And at that point, I'll come up by 1 inch. And I'll connect from this half length to this 1 inch here. And from there, I'll make my curve as usual. So on this other side, I'll make my Airline Flare as well. So the next thing I'll be doing is to mark my half inch for joining allowance here. So having done that, so guys, after cutting, the next thing we are going to do is to flip this one. I'm going to flip it over to this side. So after turning to this side, I'll cut exactly what I have here. So I'm going to remove this one. I'm going to return it back like this. So this is what we have. After I return it back, this is what we have. So this is the Airline Flare for this side. The next thing I'll be doing is to close up this point, and I'm going to add my measurement. I'll come to the bust point and I'll measure my bust circumference, which is 42 divided by 4, 10.5. Then under bust, 35 divided by 4, 8.75. Can you see? So I'm going to take the midpoint from here to here. What I have here is 6. The midpoint is 3. That is 6 divided by 2, 3. And I'll take the midpoint of this side. What I have here is 4. Divided by 2 is 2. Can you see? So I'm going to connect the points, and I'll take this straight up down. So this is what I have, and from this point I'm going to connect straight to the shoulder line, straight to the shoulder line, like this. So the next thing I'll be doing is to add ½ inch for joining allowance on this part. So guys, the next thing I'll do is to add my Airline Flare. I'll come here and measure 3.5 inches and mark. At that point, I'll come up by 1 inch, and I'll connect from here to the half length with a straight line. And yeah, this is my Airline Flare at this side. And I'll make my curve. So guys, this is what we have, and I'm going to cut. After cutting, this will be the second pieces. So guys, we are going to cut the last pieces, which is the third pieces. This is what we have. This is the one we cut now. I'm going to flip it like this again, and after turning, I'm going to cut then after cutting, I'm going to remove this one. It's not part of what we are doing. And yeah, this is what I have now. So we're going to cut the third flake. I'll close it up, and I'm going to add this one, the center part as well. This is the center part, and after joining it together, I'll take my measurement. It's as simple as that. The shoulder measurement is 8. That is 16 divided by 2. I'll add extra 1 inch, which is 9 inches. Then the neck width is 4. I'll come down by 1 inch to slope the shoulder, and I'll connect to the neck width. Can you see what we have? Then my armhole depth is 8.5. I'll connect. For my armhole curve, I'll add my bust circumference. So my bust circumference at the bust line, my bust circumference is 10.5. I'll be adding 3 inches allowance. This is what I have. I'm going to extend it down. So we add our Airline Flake, which is 3.5. At that point, I'll come up by 1 inch, and I'll connect to the half length. This is the half length here, and this is what I have. So I'll make my curve here. So guys, this is what I have. The next thing is to cut it out. So we're going to add ½ inch for joining the shoulder. Remember this, don't forget it please. And connect. So the next will be to add the neckline. I'll be making the same round neck, but this time around the neck depth is going to be 8 inches because I want it lower than the front. So the neck depth for the back is going to be 8 inches and it will be a round neck. So I'm going to draw my round shape. Feel free to add any neck shape of your choice. It must not be a round shape at the back side. The same thing to the front side. So guys, this is it for the back side. So guys, this is what we have for the back side, and these are my Airline Flare, and I will use these 3 to cut another 3 to complete it 6. So guys, after cutting, this is what I have. I've used the lining to trace on the fabric, and what I have here is 2, 2. This is 2, this is 2, and this is 2. Altogether 6. 6 at the front, while the back is also 6, making it 12 pieces top. The same thing with the lining. The lining is 2 as well. So please, while tracing your own, make sure you trace it right side to right side or wrong side to wrong side. Do you understand? To avoid any unnecessary mistakes. So guys, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. I'm going to be sewing this top in our next tutorial. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Till next time, I'll see you again. For now, it is bye bye.